Don't get in them. Don't get in them at all. Listener caller line 260-356-2611. A couple questions from listeners over the last 2 weeks that I wanted to get to last week, didn't get to it. Question from a listener: what are your thoughts on near-death experiences? Are they like people say, or is it a function of the brain? Near-death experiences, I always thought it was a possibility. I never really thought much about it until I stumbled on information from the others, from the people that are involved with the spiritual realm on the other side. And the person they were described and seeing was Sananda. And you get these people all over the country that do these some type of witchcraft, New Age type prayer circle type things. And the person they're describing seeing is Sananda. And if you ask the person to describe this Jesus they saw in the near-death experiences, they'll describe Sananda. They're not describing Jesus Christ. They describe Sananda. If you look at the typical picture that's in the churches today on your bookmarks and bookstores all over the world, and they say this is Jesus, and what it is a Michelangelo painting portrait of Jesus that he did of Sananda. And the churches have bought it that, this is Jesus. Well, we really don't know what it looks like, but this is Jesus, And so he is the one dominant in all of these near-death experiences. And I've heard him say it himself that he works behind the scenes in that. And so he's the one people are seeing. And, of course, some people will fight you tooth and nail. They'll say, it was not. He was so loving. He was so this. He was so that. Well, of course, he's trying to fool you. He's trying to play Jesus. If he can't fool you in a near-death experience, how's he going to fool a majority of the world when he comes here as the Messiah? It's all about deception, folks. He's not always pure evil. And yes, they do have the ability to create an aura around them to show that they're glowing. They have the way to manifest an aura to make them look like they're heavenly beings. That's why they call themselves light bodies and New Age garbage terms. It's because they can produce this. They can fake it. And I've seen in the Bible codes where there's always something going on with the anklet that they wear, some kind of jewelry that they wear. And I think it has something to do with what they can do with shape-shifting or producing this false glow, this false aura to make them look like a heavenly being. It has something to do with it. I see the term anklet or wristlet. And so it's an anklet or it's a bracelet. It's some kind of jewelry that they wear. So that will be interesting to see when these idiots arrive, if they actually do have jewelry on. And they'll probably hide it now because I know they listen to the show. But we're on to all of them. Listener call in line 260-356-2611. So, yeah, folks, it's Sananda pretty much behind the near-death experiences. What are your thoughts on the other side? Does it exist? Sylvia Brown goes in depth about this. Is there another dimension where our spirits go after death? Do we reincarnate? Do we have a blueprint laid out before we're born? Thank you for your response in time. I think the Bible makes it pretty clear that in Hebrews 9:27, for it is given a man who wants to die and then the judgment. And so I know a lot of people are into the soul sleep doctrine, or they go all the way over to the edge and we go on a different realm where we're on vacation for a while. And there's no, and that's kind of sort of the thing Peggy Kane believes in Sylvia Brown. As far as the other realm goes, I do believe there is, we have the astral realm. We've always had that. There's an astral realm. It's the same realm that people go in to astrally project, and the people I deal with a lot, they astral project into your house, your homes, and they do so. It's a New Age practice, witchcraft practice, and it's a lot like remote viewing, only astral projectors can physically look totally human. They have a full body. I've been told that remote viewers don't leave their bodies. They just sit someplace and remote view to a place or a person. So, either way, it's the astral projectors I deal with. And just often call them remote viewers. To me, it's all the same. And so, a believer's going to die. You're either going to go to hell, heaven or hell, believer or unbeliever. people can get stuck in the astral realm. And a lot of these people that astrally project, if they can't get back to their bodies.
Sherry?
Yeah.
I just had a computer crash, so I need to skip this first break, but then we should be back up to normal at the end of the hour.
Okay.
If we can skip the bottom one, it'll help me, because I got to reboot a computer.
Okay. No problem. Where was I? Yeah, so we're talking about the astral realm. Peggy Kane and Sylvia Brown believe that there is a whole nother state of existence in the astral plane. And that is one that I think what they do is there's a pickup mixture, because back in the olden times, let's say the Old Testament times, before the Lord came, there was an upper shoal and a lower shoal, and of course those who were inherently good, because they didn't go to heaven at that time when they died, because there was no redemption at that time, they would go to what they called the upper bosom of Abraham, and then there was the lower shoal, where those just outright evil would go. And hell was originally made just for Satan and his angels, but then mankind started being sent there. And you can read about that, I think it was Korah, when Moses was given the Ten Commandments, and the Lord opened up the earth and swallowed up Korah and his followers, and they went down to the pit, and it was the first time that fire was kindled in hell. And so that's when people who were just outright obnoxious and rejected the Lord were sent to. And that's a place of punishment now. But it was never intentionally or designed for mankind. It was intentionally, originally made for Satan and his angels. But now mankind will go there. So I think what they do is just come out with some kind of facade about how this upper shoal, this upper bosom of Abraham was. They call it the upper paradise. I think it's carried over from that. But a lot of it's a facade too. When people die, most people have a familiar spirit that's attached to them. And when that person dies, a familiar spirit that looks exactly like that person is a familiar spirit, meaning they look just almost like that person. They know everything about that person. They have to either go find somewhere else to inhabit. Most of them do not want to return to Satan for reassignment. So I think what they do is they just go to the astral realm, and they work with people like Sylvia Brown to deceive people into believing in seances and these witchcraft circles, speaking to the dead, the necromancy. It's not the real person that died you're speaking to. It's these familiar spirits. And because they knew that person can have their familiar spirit there. And those are the ones that speak to these people like Sylvia Brown. Any kind of contact with the dead is forbidden by the Bible in Leviticus, termed necromancy. King Saul got in all kinds of trouble for trying to contact the dead through the witch of, I think it was Endor, in the Old Testament. And we've always been forbidden to talk to the dead. And so that's basically what these people are doing. Sylvia Brown, being that she is practicing necromancy, speaking to the dead, has all these people deceived and thinking they're really talking to their lost loved ones. And what they're doing is talking to their just familiar spirits that those loved ones had. Another question. When you were talking to Peggy Kane a few weeks back, she mentioned about people who, for example, are astral projecting and their silver cord snaps. Now, I used to think that it would be the start of eternity for them, either heaven or hell, but Peggy mentioned, and you seem to agree, that there could be a different kind of dimension these folks could be trapped in. Could this be the dry places that Jesus talked about? Know anything more about this topic or read any articles on it that I may have missed? Could such a person in this situation accept salvation? If the silver cord snaps, yes, what will happen is there's a cord attached to your spirit, your body, and when you leave it in spirit form, you will see a silver cord attached to it. New Agers have talked about this. David mentioned something about the cord being snapped asunder or whatever.